Alright YouTube, it's Brian with GreyWolf Towers again. Today we're going to have a special project. This one is not really related to anything else that's currently going on. I do still have some videos in the works. Hopefully this weekend I'll be doing another one with my son. This, however, is just a spur of the moment. My YouTube feed didn't show me a video when it first released like it usually does, and so I only got to see it last night. This is going to be the best that I can do currently, but I hope that it does help some. So what we're going to do first, we're going to take a look at this graphics card. This one here is a used, but gently used, AMD Sapphire Nitro Plus RX 470 4GB card. It does use a single 8-pin adapter, but it's been well taken care of. I've not used it very heavily at all. It was used in my son's machine. So this card here, although it's got a couple nicks and things from use, it is a well taken care of card. And as I said, there's a special reason for this one, but today we're going to need our thermal paste, a screwdriver with a Phillips head. We're going to use a couple Q-tips, some rubbing alcohol, and I ran out of paper towels, so I'm going to use some toilet paper. We're going to do a quick cleanup of this card, and then at the end I'll explain why I'm doing this. Alright? So let's start. So first thing we do for thermal paste replacement on a graphics card is we need to remove the plate that has the fins for the cooler. So we need to remove the cooler first. So in order to remove the cooler, this particular cooler looks like it has 4 screws back here, plus the 4 that hold the GPU part of the cover. So we're going to take off the 4 outer ones first, and then we're going to take the 4 inner ones out. We're going to leave these other 2 on because they go to the heat spreader that covers the VRMs or whatever the memory module parts are that get covered with. I'm not a electrical type person, so I apologize for not knowing the exact terms. So here we go, we're going to pop this off. And no, we do not have a cool mod mat from Gamers Nexus, sorry. So I have to do the layout of the screws myself on a table, but that's alright. I don't know how many of you are members of the Discord that Christopher Yee runs. So he has a great Discord channel, or server, or whatever it's called. I call it a channel, but it's more of a community actually. You can find a link to it down below. Great group of people, very helpful, very kind. Like any other group though, there are bad apples, but I focus on the positive, and honestly it's a very good group and I'm proud to be a member of it. Alright, so we've got those screws off. Now let's see here, there we go. We just finesse it gently, and it does have a power cable, so we're going to take the power cable off. There we are, so there is the fans. So it does look like we are going to have to remove those last 2 screws because they are actually holding on the actual cooler. So, keeping track of these screws where they go. Alright, now we're going to gently try and pry this. Now we don't want to force it because that could cause damage. So there we go. Just gently pull it off. Ta-da! Now you've got the pads that go to the memory and other parts, and then we've got the thermal paste here. It does have some buildup here of some stuff, so we're going to use our trusty duster. And we're just going to take a piece of this. We're going to get rid of some of this stuff here. You can see it coming up, and this is, like I said, a gently used one, so it's not that bad compared to what it could be. And I don't know, I personally don't like it being this dirty, so this will be a good thing for this card. Should help to improve performance. We're just gonna get some of this stuff off here. So we're going to get off the old thermal paste, and as I've explained in my other videos, on these cards that we want to actually utilize and keep running, we don't want to scratch this area where the GPU is going to come in contact with the pad. So we're going to just gently kind of brush it off here real quick to get that off. And you'll notice that it's not perfect right now, so I'm still working on it. For this, we're going to take a Q-tip and some rubbing alcohol. Now again, for the rubbing alcohol, you want to use 91% or better. You do not want to use the weaker stuff, especially the 50%. At the very least, 70% should be used, and I highly recommend spending the extra $1 or so to get the 91%. And you can obtain it at any general store like Walmart or anything like that, so it's not a big deal. It's not hard to find or anything. Walmart carries it for $2 or $3, and I know other stores carry it. So you can get it at Walgreens or CVS, whatever store you're comfortable with. In fact, my wife and I have bought a bunch of it on Amazon even, so it's really not hard to come by. On Amazon, I think it's something like $6 gets you a 2-pack bottle of it, and it includes the shipping and everything, so not bad. So we're just going to clean up some of this gunk that's, and I say gunk, but it's really just dust buildup. And it's just from about 6 months, so it's not too bad. Alright, so I'm not sure if you can actually see it, but overall it does look a lot better now. So there's this piece here, and we're just going to blot the fins, which again, you know, nothing big, nothing too bad going on there. There's some dust buildup, some dirt buildup, whatever you want to call it, from while it was being used and everything. So I'm going to just get some of that, for lack of a better word, the grime off of it from the daily use. Not even daily use, it was more like weekly use. But it does build up. So, alright, so it's probably as clean as we're going to get it for today. If the person that this is going to wants to, then clean it up a little better, but I think for now it's good enough to use and should hold up pretty well for the near future, so I don't see it being a problem. So we're going to set this down, and now we're just going to clean up the thermal paste on the actual GPU itself. And so we're just going to gently brush that off for the old stuff, which has started to dry into it, so we do want to get this replaced. So it's a good thing we're doing this. Now this is an RX 470, so it's a bit older of a card. It's been out for a couple of years, so it's not like it's a brand new one. Now if you've seen my other videos, you know that I try and take care of graphics cards as good as possible, and I definitely am no stranger to doing repairs to them and things like that. So I do enjoy taking care of graphics cards because they're one of those commodities that we really want to take good care of. All right, don't let your graphics card get too badly, out of shape. We want to make sure they stay in good working order, so we always want to take good care of them. So for the thermal paste, we're just going to put a little rice-sized dab on here. So, and again, it doesn't need to be a huge amount. And when you use the non-conductive stuff, this is Arctic Silver Ceramic too. So it's a non-conductive version of Arctic Silver. Because it's non-conductive, if you put a little extra on it, it shouldn't be a big deal. So if it comes a little over the edges like the default thermal paste does, it should still be okay. Now, we're going to blow the fans out real quick. You know what? I'm kind of not feeling fans. I'm going to go ahead and dust them off a little bit here. I'm going a little extra on this. It's not really needed, but I figure what the hey. giving it to a good cause, I figure might as well take good care of it, right? Alright. Almost done. Okay. Alright, so now we just have to reassemble it. To reassemble it, you just want to make sure that everything's clear on this side. You don't want anything out of the ordinary going on. And so for this, we're just going to line it back up with where it goes. There we go. And like I said before, with this type of stuff, I personally prefer doing the star pattern, kind of like you do for the lug nuts of your car. So once we have the side on here, there we go. So now we just pop these screws into place, and one at a time, we just screw these down into place. And we don't want to over tighten, so we're not going to like put full force into this. We just want it tight enough that it's going to hold in place. We don't want it too tight, so we're just going to tighten it into place. We're not going to like go full force on this and just keep going and going until it starts to break or splinter. You just want enough pressure that the screw stops moving freely. Alright, now plug the fans back in. Now we just gotta, there we go. There we are. So now the final stage. Just gonna put the last couple screws in, and then we'll be good to go. Overall, a pretty painless process, and for the fact that it'll add years to the card, at least in theory, it's not too bad to spend every year or so doing this. I'd recommend doing this about once a year. Every other year should be okay as well, especially if you got good thermal paste such as Arctic Silver. But yeah, now it's back to the way it was originally. I'll throw it on the test bench just to make sure that it's running the way it should be. And then I'm gonna ship this out because this is going to someone. I know it's not as good as the 1080 Ti that he had, but it should be better than the 770. Christopher Yee, you help everybody in your Discord that you're able to. You do so much for your community that you've helped create. I know it's not a lot, but I wanted to give something back to you, and unfortunately this is the best that I can do at the moment. So this RX 470 4GB should perform about 25% better than your GTX 770 that you have. And so I hope this will help you in the meantime while you're waiting to get a better graphics card again. And that way you can do your videos a little smoother and a little better. And you know, by all means, flip this card when you're able to and work your way back up to a 1080 Ti. But this should hopefully be better than the 770. So I hope everyone enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Please like the video if you like the content. Subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date. Comment down below. We love to see the comments. I respond to them as often as I can. And I hope everyone has a great day. And again, thank you, Christopher Yee, for being the person you are. You inspire a lot of us, and I appreciate it personally. You've given me and my family a lot, and I know this isn't much, but it's the best that I can do right now. And I wanted to help you out too, because you help us. Thank you. Have a great day, everyone.